Hello and welcome to DFS Coach Talk. Today is Wednesday, August the 10th, 2022. I am Joe Sarvati, affectionately known as Coach, and I am joined by the one and only Josh Crash Davis. Crash, we got a busy one today. 15 games, all on the two slates. We've got our work cut out for us.
Yeah, there's like 3 or 4 slates today, I think, but I think we're going to cover 2 slates. But yeah, there's a lot.
There really is. The good thing is all 15 games count today, though. So with what we're supplying for our members, we're actually supplying the 110 slate, which is 6 games on DraftKings, 7 on Fanduel, and all 15 on Yahoo. It's an all-day slate. And then we're going to jump back in and do the 705 main slate, 9 games on DraftKings, 8 on Fanduel, and 9 on Yahoo. So between both of them, we'll have all 15 games covered. We're going to go over those on our podcast today, and appreciate everybody joining in. I see some people hopping into chat here. We're a couple of minutes late, just trying to get everything prepared and ready to go. With sort of a double dip slate, we had a lot to get ready, that's for sure. So appreciate everybody jumping in. Boy from Cali, always winning. Absolute Power. How about that? Morning, Absolute Power. Appreciate that you jumped in chat with us today. And I'm sure we'll have other people drifting in. So how are your thoughts to wrap up the slate from last night, Crash?
Well, as I always say, I don't really like these bigger slates because it's so hard to cash. My lineup was around 170. And I still didn't cash. So it's just so hard. I mean, it's just ridiculous. Unless you had the Rockies or Bo Bichette or something like that.
Or the Braves.
Yeah, or the Braves, you just weren't going to cash last night. So
I was right there. I knew I was in trouble when I was watching the Braves and Riley triples and then homers. I thought, okay, there's a chalk stack with a chalk guy, and I don't have them.
Right.
I went with Arenado instead at that spot, and regretted the fact that I didn't have Riley. But it's all right. Water under the bridge. We got a great slates today. Double, all kinds of opportunities to hit stuff on all 3 of them. Also have some great PrizePicks plays and some great Boom Fantasy selections for our plays of the day. So real quickly, before we get started here, if you're watching us on YouTube, do us a huge favor. Take a second, hit the thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Those are super important to us. Give us a quick comment too, question, anything. We would appreciate that. That combination really does help us move up the algorithm on YouTube. And then hit the little alert button. This way, anytime any of our podcasts go live, which we're pretty much going live with all of our podcasts now.
Right.
And that baseball one, 7 days a week. And we've got some golf pods coming up. We are talking about doing also some podcasts to support our MMA, all of our NASCAR. Then, NFL's right around the corner. And we have NFL podcasts that are coming out each week. We've done quarterback preview of top 10. We've done running backs. And then this Saturday is the wide receivers. So you can always catch those right here on YouTube at DFS Coach Talk, or any of our audio podcast landing spots, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher. You can catch all of those as well at DFS Coach Talk. All right, Crash, let's do our normal deal here. We'll buzz through the 15 games. I'll say this to start out. 13 of the 15, I feel very, very comfortable, should be fine. No weather issues at all. No problems that I can see. But there are 2 games that we're going to have to watch very closely. They're both at 7:05. One's in Baltimore, one's in Philly. Similar to last night, that those were 2 of the trouble spots. They look like they may be a little more trouble tonight. So we're going to watch those very carefully as the day progresses. We'll be updating that in Discord, putting radar, going through all of those things, because it is extremely important to get the weather right. There's no question about it.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let's start the slate off. 110, that very first game. Cincinnati Reds, New York Mets. It is in New York, 82 degrees, slight breeze there. Vegas has the total at 9. 3 implied for the Reds, 6 implied for the Mets. So a big number for the Mets. There'll be a lot of Mets stacks right out of the chute. T.J. Zuch, I guess is his name.
Yeah.
5.2K and Tyon Walker, 8.4K. So interesting Mets momentum going early here in the top stacks tool.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 210, Tampa Bay Rays, Milwaukee Brewers. Your Brewers get an early game, so no late night for you. You get to watch the Brewers during the day. It is in the Dome in Milwaukee. 7.5 is the total in Vegas. 3.34 implied for the Rays and 4.16 for the Brewers. Taking the hill for the Rays is lefty Jeffrey Springs against, I know, one of your favorites, right-hander Brandon Woodruff at 9.6K.
Yep, I like it. And like you said, I get some sleep because I was up last night watching that Seattle and New York game. Did you see that?
Oh my gosh, that was I could not keep
incredible game. I did too, but it was an incredible game.
Yeah.
It was just, I mean, it was probably for you, what, 2-something in the morning before it ended?
It was. And I was, like I said, I missed pieces of it dozing on and off. It was ridiculous.
Right.
Great game, though.
Yep.
All right, we move to the 220 game, Nationals and Cubs. We've got it in Chicago, 78 degrees, breeze blowing in 6 miles an hour from center field. 7.5 is the total, 3.19 implied for the Nats, and the Cubbies 4.31. The youngster Josiah Gray, 8.1K for the Nats, and also youngster Justin Steele, the lefty fire baller, is 6.2K. 337 exactly. The LA Angels face off against the Oakland A's. 7.5 is that total in Oakland. Nice, comfortable 74 degrees, slight breeze, nothing to speak of there. 3.61 implied for the Angels, 3.89 for the A's. 2K Toussaint, the ex-Brave, it takes the mound for the Angels, 7.4K, and the veteran Paul Blackburn, 5.7K. Then we go over to San Diego for a California battle here. Giants versus Padres. Beautiful day in San Diego, 83 degrees, light breeze blowing out to right at 8 miles an hour. 8.5 is the Vegas total, 3.77 implied for the Giants, and 4.73 for the Padres. Jacob Junis, 6.9K for the Giants, and Sean Manaea, the lefty, 8.7K for the San Diego Padres. The guys that are going to be a little tired here after late night have to come back in the afternoon, like 12 hours later. It's the Yankees and Mariners. You've got only a total of 7 here. And I know sometimes they close the dome, sometimes they open the dome in Seattle. So I'm going to think it may be open, but we'll follow that up in Discord and post that going forward this afternoon. 3.67 is the implied total for the Yankees, which is pretty low for them, and 3.33 for the Mariners. So only a 7 total for a Yankees-Mariners game is pretty respectful of these two pitchers. Both happen to be left-handers. Both are priced almost identical. Nestor Cortez, 9.2K, and Robbie Ray, 9.4K. So another great game in that series against the Yanks and Mariners.
Yeah.
Then we go to the evening slate, 7:05. This is one of the weather big concerns. Toronto Blue Jays at the Baltimore Orioles. Only a 70% chance of rain at first pitch. That's not promising. And it's going to be 83 degrees, slight breeze there in Baltimore. Total's 9, 4.93 implied for Toronto, 4.07 for the Orioles. Orioles are, I'm telling you right now, they're like my favorite team to root for lately. They are amazing. They've won, they're 21-9 or 23-9 in their last 32 games. And just out of nowhere, man, I am rooting for them to make the playoffs. They are fun. What a turnaround for that organization.
Mm-hmm.
So pumped up for them. It's Jose Barrios that they have to face tonight from the Blue Jays. He's 7.3K. And Dean Kramer, or Creamer, it looks like, but it's pronounced Kramer. It's 6.2K for the Orioles. All right, the other trouble weather game starts at the exact same time. So we'll know what's going on before that lock when we post lineups for the evening main slate. It's the Marlins at the Phillies. A lot less chance of rain there at first pitch, 28%, but still something we really have to keep an eye on because there will be thunderstorms popping up there because it's a hot 86 degrees in Philly and breeze blowing out to right center at 6 miles an hour. The total's only 7.5, though, because of the two pitchers that are taking the mound. Mm-hmm. It's a 3.5 implied for Miami and 4 flat for the Phillies. Sandy Alcantara, 10.3K for Miami, and Noah Syndergaard, Thor takes the hill at 7.9K for the Phillies. So we will definitely be watching that one closely because I know those two guys will get some ownership from the pitching side. But if there's a delay possibility, it could throw a monkey wrench into that game. So we'll be watching it closely. 7:10 crash. We've got the Braves and Red Sox, 71 comfortable degrees. Beautiful night for baseball in Boston. Hardly a breeze blowing. 9.5's the total. 5.16 for the Braves, 4.34 for the Red Sox. So pretty high run lines for two guys that are respected, I thought. Mm-hmm. I guess they're not as much as we looked in Vegas at 9.5 runs being the highest on the board here, other than Colorado, of course. And then it's Kyle Wright, 9.9K, and Nick Pivetta, 8.3K. So possible fades there, no doubt about it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
The Guardians are playing in Detroit against the Tigers. That's at 7:10, 82 degrees. Beautiful night for baseball in Detroit. A little warm. 8's the total there, 4.54 for the Guardians, 3.46 for the Tigers. Aaron Savali, 6.5K against Drew Hutchison, 5.7K. And move down south there to Houston in the dome, more than likely, because it's been too hot there. We'll let you know if they open the roof there, but considering it's been close to 100 every day, I doubt it, but we'll watch it closely. It is right now a 7.5 total, only 2.52 for the Rangers. You know, you only see those mid and low twos very seldom. 4.98 for the Astros. So basically it's double for the Astros, 5 to 2.5. So heavy favorites here. And that's pretty simple to figure out. It's Glenn Otto at 5.9K against that guy that I think you heard of, Justin Verlander, at 10.5K. Yep.
Yeah.
He's the one married to this the supermodel, correct?
Kate Upton. Yeah.
8:10 White Sox and Royals. We have 85 degrees in KC tonight. No breeze to speak of. 9 is the implied total. 4.79 for the White Sox, 4.21 for the Royals. Johnny Cueto's, who I have listed for the White Sox at 9.1K versus lefty Chris Bubich, 5.5K. We go over to Colorado. This is, of course, Slate, unfortunately, that we have to deal with a Coors game and a monster number.
Yeah.
So how about 90 degrees in Denver? We talked about it yesterday. I predicted a super high scoring game there. I loaded up on the Cardinals. It wasn't bad, but I needed to load up on the Rockies. They went ballistic yesterday.
Yeah. And I think you mentioned the Rockies yesterday in the podcast too.
I did. I keep doing that. I give these teams out on the podcast and then I don't follow through and play them.
Yeah.
But I did really like both sides, and I liked the over there. I was all over that game.
Yeah.
And, man, they did score a ton of runs. It didn't work out perfectly for me, though.
It's easy through the course of the day to do that, but if you just trust your gut
You're right.
plays, man, it just pays off. So,
Well,
yeah.
we may be in that situation again here. 90 degrees, 11-mile-an-hour breeze blowing out, more than a breeze when it's, double digits to left field.
Yeah.
So it's going to be super hot, no chance of rain. The Vegas total's 12. So the highest one other than that is 9.5. So it's by far the highest total. Then you've got these two numbers. The Cardinals implied 6.69, which is ridiculous, and Colorado 5.31, super respectable. So on top of that, for those righties, both teams will load up with righties with lefty pitchers going and the wind blowing out to left field. So, man.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, though, Coach. I'll tell you something. I don't know how much of the Cardinals I'm going to have in this game because Kyle Freeland's really impressed me lately.
Okay.
He shut out the Brewers in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
He allowed 3 runs to the Dodgers, and he allowed 2 runs to the Padres. So,
all right.
He's been pretty good. I don't know. We'll see. There's a few bats that I like for the Cardinals. Hopefully they'll be lower owned, but I don't know how heavy I'm going to go on the Cardinals. I think the natural reaction is just to stack them all up, but after what happened last night, but I'm not so sure. We'll see.
Well, and you got to be fully committed to it because the prices are really high. Goldschmidt 6.2, 5.2 for Arenado, 4.8 for O'Neill. I mean, you got to open the vault up to get these guys in there. And like you said, Freeland hasn't been that bad, but the Vegas total of 12, 90 degrees, wind blowing out to the left. It does set up for another big game. And
Goldie's 4 for 20 against Freeland.
All right. Well, we've got some fades possibly there, but the matchup is, like I say, 2 lefties. Quintana, they picked up from the Pirates, is 7.5K. And I guess your value play may be Kyle Freeland. He's only 6.1K.
Yeah. He's definitely. It's tough. It's tough.
That would take some stones.
Good. The Cardinals have been so good before last night.
I know.
You would think they would bounce back, but
if you can take a pitcher in that game, though, you've got some stones, my man.
Yeah.
But hey,
it's a tough one. I've got a couple of value pitchers that I like other than him too. So
could be a way to take something down,
Yeah.
I know it. There's a lot of us that got burned by some of those Cardinals bats, though. It's just hard for me not to go back to them, but we will figure it out. We're going to talk that through. All right, we have 2 games left. The late night sweat game. So I guess a little 2-teamer after hours. Pirates Diamondbacks at 9:40 in the Dome in Arizona. 8.5 is the total. 3.79 for the Pirates. 4.71 for the D-backs. Mitch Keller 6.6K against Madison Bumgarner, the lefty, at 6.9K. There's so many cheap pitchers today. It's unbelievable. Then the last game at 10:10. In LA, still warm, little warm streak there in LA. It's close to 80 degrees tonight for that game. 8 miles an hour out to center, 9.5. That shows in the number there a bit, and not a lot of, respect for these pitchers, but 9.5 total in Vegas, 4.26 implied for the Twins, 5.24 for the LA Dodgers. Sonny Gray, the veteran, 8.7K, and Ryan, how do you say his last name?
The Dodgers pitcher?
Yeah.
Pepio.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Pepio, 10.3K. So a little pep in your step for that price right there for the Dodgers.
Yeah, on DraftKings, but over on Fanduel, he's 6,200.
I know. I mean, I could not believe this. Of all the baseball slates we've covered, and we've covered every one this year, I have never seen this many variances in pricing dramatically from site to site. I mean, Pepio's not the only one. There's a bunch of other guys that fall into that same deal. Did you see Justin Steele on the 2 sites?
Yeah.
He's another guy. It's like almost a $3,000 difference between FanDuel and DraftKings. So we've got a lot to talk about today, my friend. So let me get out of this screen, go take a real quick look at what we've got in chat. Looks like it's waking up a little bit there. We got a bunch of people in there. So let's say hello, of course, Again, boy from Cali, Absolute Power. They win the prize for being the first two in there today. Andres Lombardo, what's up, my man? JT's been consistent lately. And, of course, Dominic. Dominic, I sent our TikTok out to you directly today. You're on my list now for direct shout-outs there on TikTok. So good morning to you as well. All right. We're going to do double the slate here. We're not doing the two brains lineup today, but we're going to go over the afternoon slate and the main slate and give all of our plays all over the board here. We'll also do our normal BVP stacks, HR calls, prize picks, and boom fantasy plays. So real quickly, we'll be launching in about a week and a half with Boom Fantasy. Can't wait to get that going. A lot of great announcements coming. We're also bringing on a partner where we're going to be supplying player projections, stack percentage, ownership, all kinds of statistical analysis so that Coach Talk will be your one-stop shop going forward. We'll get that all ready in August here, roll it out for baseball, and then we'll be ready to start the NFL strong. If you want to become a member of Coach Talk, Wednesday is always my favorite day to tell everybody to get the 3-day pass for $10 because you get Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. That's all of our golf tonight for the tournament, and then Friday for the weekend golf. And then you get all of our baseball throughout the next 3 days as well. So just go to dfscoachtalk.com and you can sign up there. All right, here we go. Afternoon slate crash. Here we are on August 10th. What are your pay up, value, and fade pitchers for the afternoon slate today?
I don't have a whole lot of information on this slate. My focus was mainly on the main slate, but I will tell you the names. I don't have all the prices.
That's all right.
My main slate, or my pay up pitcher on the early slate is going to be Brandon Woodruff. My value pitcher is going to be Taijuan Walker. And my fade is Nestor Cortez.
Gotcha. And I take responsibility. I let Crash know late that we were going to do the double duty today on both slates. So I know he was already prepared for the main, and I threw him the coach's curveball there at the very end. That's why we were also 4 or 5 minutes late.
That's what coaches do, though, right?
That's right. You got to call. I had to call I gave the sign here, which this means here we're going with a double slate. And Crash was like, "Say what?"
Yeah, our pitch comm wasn't working too well this morning.
Exactly.
For
me, go ahead.
Before I pass it over to you, my reasoning for Taijuan Walker, besides the fact that they're playing the Reds, is that he pitched against them in Great American in July, and he only allowed 3 runs. He scored 46 fantasy points. So if he can put up those kind of numbers in that ballpark, I definitely like him at home.
Yeah, I think that's a great play and a mismatch game for sure. I think it makes perfect sense. I was on the fence between him and my value guy. I think both of them are worth it. So
he's coming off of a negative 21 fantasy score game. So hopefully his ownership will be down.
That's why I didn't end up going with him at the last second, because I just couldn't get over that. That beating has a psychological effect, I would think. But
I would think so. But I mean, we'll see. We'll see what
whoever
happens.
had him rostered in that game certainly is not going to play him today.
Yeah, that was tough.
That's crazy. For me, I'm with you, man. Brandon Woodruff, I think you just go there. I mean, Tampa Bay is second in Major League Baseball in strikeouts against righties. That's all Woodruff needs. Give him that lift. And he's reasonable, 9,600 on DraftKings, 11K on Fanduel, $50 on Yahoo. But I think he's a standout pay up for the afternoon slate, and I'm just going to start building around him. Plenty of value to make that work. My value guy, again, I looked at Walker, and he's tempting. I went with the youngster Steele, Justin Steele. And the reason I did it is, it's like I was talking about, I'm going to play him on DraftKings for sure. 6,200.
I know.
$6,200. That's the same price as Goldschmidt, I think, 6,200. So, I mean, $6,200 for Steele, I can't pass up. He's 9,000 on FanDuel. So there you go. $2,800 difference. So I would not recommend him at 9K, but at 6,200, I got to go with him. And he's very reasonable, 4,500 on Yahoo. So I like him in this matchup. He gets to go against a team that's not playing well.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he can throw 8, 9, 10 strikeouts on the board without question. It doesn't have to go super deep to do it. That's the only concern, is how deep does he go in games. But at that price, to pair him with Woodruff on DraftKings makes perfect sense. Same thing on Yahoo.
Yeah.
My fade pitcher is Robbie Ray. I don't trust him. 2 of his last 3 starts were very poor. He's got to go against the Yankees. So it's the Yankees. And I'm not a big Robbie Ray guy, and he's always priced up 9,400, 9,700. And he is a cheap 39 on Yahoo, which makes him tempting. But on the other 2, no, I just don't feel comfortable going with him against Robbie Ray.
Yeah.
Or I mean against 100%. The Yankees.
I'm with you 100% there. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. What about that early slate? If you had a chance to grab BVP and HR play.
My BVP, let me double check this here. I think
I can throw mine out there first if you want to look.
Okay.
I'm very simple for me. I'm doing, I can tell you right now, I'll answer all 3 questions. My favorite stack is San Diego. I will not give up on San Diego breaking out. They have to break out for a double-digit game here at some point. So I'm rolling with San Diego all over the place. I'm going Soto for my BVP and Machado for my HR call. Very seldom do I have 2 guys from the same team, but I like the matchup. I like the spot. I think San Diego wakes up today, and I'm going Soto, Machado, and San Diego and the Mets are my 2 favorite stacks.
On the early slate?
Yes.
Okay. I don't know where it went, but I like Michael Chavis against Madison Bumgarner. I know it's kind of a different one, but that's one I like.
Good contrarian one. My Meneses guy paid off yesterday.
Hey, yeah, I know. And then my home run call, extremely chalky. Aaron Judge, 3 home runs and 3 hits and 7 at bats against Robbie Ray. So
yeah. I mean, that's the obvious pick, and I'm fading Ray too. So I mean, it's just the money's got to give somewhere, right? You can't have them all. And even though the Padres haven't hit, they're still pretty expensive. So the main guys anyway, but we give it a roll. You got to pick your lane and go for it. I do love still over 4.5 strikeouts, man. Boy from Cali, you just read my sheet. How about that? My PrizePicks play of the day, number 1, still over 4.5 strikeouts, right as Boy from Cali put it in chat. So
nice.
We're zoning in now. That's what happens when you listen every day. We start the coach wavelengths start to travel. Yeah. That's the goal. My second PrizePicks play crash is Manny Machado over 7.5 fantasy score.
Okay. My stacks are New York in the early slate. So the Mets and the Yankees both. And then the PrizePicks play, I have Aaron Judge over 1.5 total bases. I don't know how many times I've used this, but PrizePicks keeps throwing it out there, so I'll take it.
Why not?
And then Shohei Ohtani over 7.5 is my other one.
Yep. No, you're not going with any power guys or anything.
No, I'm not going for safe plays. Also, actually, I'll do this instead because I already did a hitter. The Reds and the Mets over 0.5 runs in the first inning.
I like that one as well. I think the Mets are gonna hammer today. I want to welcome IC Gel to it's a new one I don't think I've seen before. So welcome to the chat. He or she wants to know, is that Austin Riley, I guess, over 1.5 bases? That's always Austin
I like
Riley
over on that.
He is on fire, man. He is zoned in.
He is.
Yeah. I watched both the triple and the homer yesterday. I was impressed with him. Or was that the day before? My days are mixing together.
Yeah, I think it was last night.
Yeah, Riley's he's tough.
Yeah.
All right. that leads us to our Boom Fantasy plays for the early slate. I have 2 plays I'll throw out there. So, Crash, I know you're improvising a bit on this early slate because I threw you the coach's curve. San Diego Padres minus 165, I think is very fair price. And like I said, I'm expecting a lot from them today. And I like over in the San Diego San Fran game, 8.5. So to say I'm all in on the Padres in this early slate is putting it lightly.
Yeah. I like the over at 7 in this implied run total for the Yankees and the Mariners. I just think both Cortez and Ray are going to struggle.
Yeah.
And I like LA at plus 125 as an underdog against Oakland.
I like it.
We talked about how they've struggled at home. They're the worst offense scoring at home. So
in the league, absolutely. All right, now we're going to the double dip today. We're going to reset and start over again for the main slate tonight. So for everybody listening, they're getting everything they need for the entire day here. And as we get started with this, we would love to have you join us for our second half Major League Baseball. That ends on Sunday. So you've only got a couple more days to sign up for that. And that gets you all the way through to October 1st. So you get the first month of the NFL included. So dive in, go to dfscoachtalk.com, can see all of our different memberships there. Second half MLB is the one that right now is our best deal going. Also, if you want to get 2 free months of Coach Talk, which would get you 6 weeks of the NFL, you can go to betus.com.pa and you can sign up there by using the promo code Coach Talk, all one word, no space. And if you sign up there and make your first deposit of $79 or more, give us a quick shout on Twitter at DFS Coach Talk. Let us know just signed up for the betus.com.pa offer, and we will get you in Discord within minutes for 2 free months. And as Deb was talking about yesterday, she was a big winner on BetUS. She absolutely loves it, and so do I. So check us out there. All right, Crash. Now we know you're prepared. This is where Crash does all of his late night studying of every player, what they ate for dinner, what they watched, movie they watched last night to get prepared. He goes deep. That's all I can say. It's the main slate. Pay up, value, and fade pitchers. What do you have, Crash?
My main slate pay up pitcher is Justin Verlander, as we talked about. He's 11-3 on Fanduel, 10-5 on DraftKings. He scored 43 plus fantasy points in 8 of his last 10 starts. In his 2 starts against the Rangers this year, he scored 52 fantasy points in each of those. This is, of course, using the Fanduel scoring. The last time he faced them was in Houston. He pitched 6 shutout innings, struck out 8 for 52 fantasy points. Texas has the 9th highest strikeout rate at 23.4%. So Justin Verlander is my top pay up option.
Yep. You can fire through all 3 of them.
Okay. My value pitcher is on FanDuel. And this is going to be something we're going to have to keep an eye on because they have messed up on FanDuel. I don't know if you saw this, the start time for Kansas City and Chicago.
I didn't see it.
So they've got Kansas City and Chicago, for some reason on FanDuel, they have the game starting at 2:10 p.m. Eastern.
Okay.
And the game starts at 8:10 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, no.
So they have Chris Bubich on the early slate instead of the main slate on FanDuel. If he gets moved to the main slate, he will be my value pitcher. But if not, then I'm going to go with Pepio. He was solid in his last start against Colorado. He pitched 5 innings. He struck out 6. He only allowed 1 run for 36 fantasy points. Yeah. The Dodgers have won 9 straight, and I think they'll win again. So if we can get 20 to 25 fantasy points from him, plus, about 6 for the win, that's going to give us around 30. And at 6,200, I think that's a great value. And over on DraftKings, as I mentioned, Chris Bubich is 5,500. And he's had quality starts in 4 straight games, and that was against Toronto, the Yankees, the Rays, and the Red Sox. So he's facing quality opponents. And so I really like that 5,500 price tag on DraftKings. My fade pitcher is going to be Kyle Wright. He's 10-4 on Fanduel, 9,900 on DraftKings. Easier to pay up for. If you're going to pay up for Verlander or even Alcantara. He's pitching in Boston. Kyle Wright is. He struggled badly in his last start against the Mets. He only scored 12 fantasy points. He allowed 6 runs on 7 hits. And the last time he faced Boston was earlier this year, and that was in Atlanta. He pitched 4 2/3 innings, allowed 6 runs on 7 hits, had a season low 8 fantasy points. Jeez. So Kyle Wright is going to be my fade on the main.
Yep, I'm Wright is one of my fades as well. Our pay up's the same. I mean, it's Justin Verlander. Just make it happen. I mean, he's averaging 52 points per game against the Rangers in those 2 games, 10-5, 11-3, and $59. Yep, you have to pay for him, but you know what? Cash, being more of a cash player, I just don't see how I don't put him in there. I mean, he's been in such a zone. The Rangers are not a very good baseball team. They really aren't. So I'm going Justin Verlander for all the reasons you said. I don't have to belabor the statistics. Right. He is the man. So I'm going with him.
I mean, we should be getting him at lower ownership, I would think, because I think most people are going to be focused on that Coors game. So you can't stack Coors and Verlander in the same lineup.
See, I think Verlander's going to be somewhat chalky because and the reason I say that is it seems like last night, for example, there were about 6 aces you could have picked from. There were so many good pitchers. I just think Verlander is much the best of this group.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a pretty steep drop off of who the next pitcher is. So I think people will find a way to make Verlander and maybe mini stacks in Colorado or stacking the cheaper Rockies or lower in the lineup in that game. It's just, I don't think you can afford to spot everybody 50 or 55 points with that pitching spot and then try to catch up.
Yeah.
So that's my theory there. My value pitcher, and it hurts me in the gut to say it, but it's Jose Berrios. I had him the last game where his total score for the game was -1, which was not actually helpful. But I will say this, before that, 46-30, 38-58, 37-24, 40-46, 64. I mean, Berrios can pitch. And I think he wakes up in this start. And he's priced so fantastic. 7,300 on DraftKings. Is that right?
Let me double check.
I mean, 7,300 for Berrios.
That is correct, sir.
I mean, that just seems like a broken price. I mean, I mean, other than that last start, he's been really good. So I'm going with that cheap price, and it does allow me to get some Coors bats.
Yeah,
9,200 on FanDuel, which is fair, and $40 giveaway on Yahoo as well. So at the price on DraftKings and Yahoo, he'll be all over the place. And I'm even use him on FanDuel in a GPP lineup as well. Yeah. I have 2 fade pitchers, one of them being yours, but I'm fading this entire game. Atlanta and Boston, Pivetta and Wright. They're both fairly expensive. Wright's 9.9, Pivetta's 8.3 on DraftKings. I just don't like the spot for either one of them. You know, when it's warm in Boston, I mean, it's only in the 70s. It's comfortable, but it's still summer. It's beautiful weather. That's such a hitter's ballpark. Neither team's bullpens are exactly super sharp right now. And there's a lot of hitting. I mean, you look at both of these sides, you can stack up hitters on both sides. And, Pivetta's got to go against some tough lefties and Olsen and Rosario and Harris and all these guys. So I don't like either side of that game. In fact, I'd love to have some hitters from both sides if possible, but you do run into some pricing issues. We need some extra salary tonight. Can you give them a call and see if I can get an extra couple thousand tonight?
Eddie Rosario is a good salary saver. I want to answer a question here. We got Alan Minton asked stacks from the early slate. Maybe I missed it.
Absolutely. My two stacks for the early slate are the San Diego Padres, who I'm all over. I'm going to have like a 4 or 5 man Padres stack. They're also the team I like to win and the over in that game. So yes, my chips are all in on the early slate on San Diego. And then the chalky stack of the Mets, I just think they're in a perfect spot. So those are my two right there.
Mine were the Mets and the Yankees. And yeah, I like San Diego as well. I think they kind of broke through last night with Soto hitting that home run. So I could see that carrying over in a big way.
I'm expecting more than that.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that rolls. Okay. Where did we leave off? BVP and HR, Crash. What do you got?
BVP, I've got Charlie Blackmon. He's 3,900 on Fanduel, 4,800 on DraftKings. He's 615 against Jose Quintana with 8 hits and 13 at bats, 6 singles, a double, and a home run. So
very nice.
Charlie Blackmon.
And then your HR call?
My HR call is going to be Rafael Devers. He's only had 4 at bats, so I think it was just that one game earlier this year against Kyle Wright, but he did hit a home run, and 20 of his 24 home runs this year were against right-handed pitchers.
Very nice. All right. For me, I'm going BVP call for the night slate, Trey Turner of the LA Dodgers against Sonny Gray. He's 7 for 16 against them with 2 extra base hits. 1125 OPS, 625 slugging, 500 OBP, and a 438 average. Super small sample size, but it's Trey Turner. Sonny Gray just does not seem like he has any gas left in the tank, in my opinion.
Right.
I think the Dodgers could knock him around. I think Trey Turner just in a great spot there. My home run call, I'm going to go to Jose Ramirez, my favorite player. I guess he's sort of taken over my favorite player from my man Alvarez in Houston. For some reason, I take Jose Ramirez all the time lately, but he just never seems to play poorly. He's so good. He gets to go against Drew Hutchison. He's batting .455 against the guy, 5 for 11, 3 extra base hits. He's homered. He's got 5 ribbies, 1364 OPS against Hutchison, 909 slugging, 455 OBP, and a 455 batting average, no walks. But Ramirez, he has great vision of the plate. He'll walk against him probably a time or two, but I think when he does hit him, I think he could go extra bases for sure.
I like it.
All right, stacks for the main slate. What is the word?
I like the Rockies, as I've mentioned. I like them more than St. Louis.
Wow.
Because of Kyle Freeland. That's really the only reason.
Yeah.
And then I like Atlanta against Pivetta. I like the Dodgers, of course. Everyone's going to like them, but I like them against Sonny Gray.
Yep.
My GPP stack is actually the Royals against Johnny Cueto. So
the Royals. Okay, interesting. For me, obviously it's not even worth mentioning the Colorado St. Louis game. Everybody's got to have some exposure to that. It just is what it is. It is definitely a core slate here. My other two teams that I'm going to focus on and try to get some value from, not going to be able to take the 3-4 hitters on these teams, but I'm going to find value. And of course, it's the Dodgers. They'll be the highest stacked team other than the Coors game. And then I like the Cleveland Guardians tonight too. They're a sneaky team. I've had some real, good fortune with playing some of their cheaper guys too. And they've got some guys in the middle of that lineup, 2, 4, 5, 6 in different spots that are very cheap. You get a good value there. So of course the Coors game, and then Dodgers and Cleveland.
Yeah. And as you mentioned, Jose Ramirez has the good BVP against Hutchison. So
he sure does.
Yeah.
Any other questions? We're getting close to the end here, so throw those in chat if you have any. We've got a nice group of guys in there and gals, so appreciate everybody tuning in. We're here every day 6 days a week, we're at 11 a.m. So everybody knows when we go live. And then on Wednesday, Monday, Crash and I go at noon. So we have a little, he has to meet with his financial advisor on Mondays at 11, figure out where to move those millions around so he gets the most money. So we wish we all had that problem, Crash,
Wish I had that problem.
All right. So we go with PrizePicks top 2 plays for the main slate.
Okay. I've got, I really have 3, but one of them you can't, because of PrizePicks rules, you can't do it. But it was going to be Rafael Devers over 7.5 fantasy score, and then Kyle Wright under 32.5 fantasy score. But you can't do a batter versus a pitcher. So we'll go with the Charlie Blackmon over at 8 fantasy score.
Charlie Blackmon over.
Okay. And Kyle Wright under at 32.5. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. And you can't have pitcher versus batter in the same parlay, if you will.
Right.
Gotcha. All right. For me, I like Jose Berrios over 30.5 fantasy score. I think that's a very fair number. I have him at 35.5. So anytime I have a projection of over 5 from where they land on PrizePicks, that's usually a circle spot for me.
Yeah.
I can't make a decision between my 2 hitters. So I'm going to give a bonus play today. I know we said we're not going to try to do that because then you and I end up giving like 5 picks each, but I'll cheat this one time. And it's also a shout out to our new person in chat, Austin Riley, over 8.5 fantasy score. You had asked about him, about the other stat, but he's just on fire right now. And that score does not scare me in that ballpark with those 2 pitchers that I think are going to get knocked around a little bit.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, I really do. And then I wanted to see if it changed or not. I'm trying to find, so I don't give out an old line. Where is my man, Trey Turner? Do you see him on there? I can't find Trey Turner now.
He's at 8.5.
Okay, 8.5. All right, yeah. Trey Turner over 8.5 would be my other play for PrizePicks. And then for our brothers in arms here, Boom Fantasy, who will be launching here shortly, and we're so proud to be a huge part of that. Our Boom Fantasy 2 plays of the day. Who are your 2 best wagers on this main slate, Crash?
This is strictly a gut feel pick here, but I like the Royals at plus 140 against the White Sox.
Okay.
They won yesterday. And like I said, whenever they have Salvador Perez in their lineup, they're just a different team. You have a different confidence about them. So I like the Royals at plus 140. And I'm going to go with the Rockies at plus 155.
Wow. He's playing the long shots today.
Taking 2 dogs here. Yeah.
Takes guts to give 2 dogs. I'm proud of you there.
Well, 3 if you consider the Angels, which I think that game's more of a toss-up. But
yeah. Very nice. Big money to be made from Crash here. For me, I'm going over in that Atlanta-Boston game. Like I mentioned, it is 9.5. That doesn't scare me. I just don't like the spot for these 2 pitchers against 2 good hitting teams that are both going pretty well. Well, Atlanta's going really well, but Boston still has some guys in there that can get it done. Yeah. So I like that. And then I like St. Louis minus the 165. I'm going against it. I just think they get in there and say, you know what, we're going to smack you down, Colorado. Arenado's going to holler at the guys a little bit. I think they're going to get in there and double them up. I think the double-digit scoring tonight will be on the Cardinal side. So we'll see. See how it rolls. So we're against each other on that one. We won't do any wagers because nobody wants to see our bald heads, but we'll see how this St. Louis, Colorado games. We'll talk a little noise in Discord. So
yeah.
So that is it. A little bit longer today, but we got through like a double slate, and that gets you ready for all 15 games. It's going to be an exciting day of baseball. Probably can start watching baseball at 1:05 and finish at about 2 in the morning is what it's going to come down. So about 13 hours straight of baseball. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
Right.
So definitely join us in Discord. We're going to be, we'll be putting lineups out for both the early and later slates, and also our PGA lineups will post for that tournament this weekend. So no live golf this week either. It's amazing. They paid all those guys in live golf to play 3 days a week and shotgun start. So they're only out there like 2 hours and something, and they only play like once a month. It's unbelievable. What a crazy setup for those guys. But we will see what happens from there. But we'd love to have you at dfscoachtalk.com. On the way out here, hit that thumbs up, if you will, the subscribe button and the alert so you know anytime that we post. We really appreciate all the chatter and people here, and welcome to the new ones here in chat. You can join us every day here. We'll be back to join you. Crash, any final words?
Yeah, just looking at the lineups here. So the Mets took Marte out of their lineup. He had that good game last game, and then they took him out. That's interesting. Then David Peralta's leading off for Tampa. I don't think that's happened so far since he's been.
Wow. So yeah, that'll jack his ownership way up for sure.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Your boy Joey Meneses is back in cleanup too.
I was so proud of that pick yesterday. 28 some fantasy points at like 1% ownership.
Right.
That does make you just jump for joy. But then when you have to stare at the Arenados and all those expensive guys that had, didn't have that much, it's a crazy roller coaster, this DFS world we're in. There's no doubt about it.
It really is.
No doubt. Well, thank you everybody for joining in, and thank you, Crash, for doing this double dip with me on the early slate. I wanted to make sure we had everything covered for everyone. So we'll try to do that on these slates that have tons of early games as well. All right, my friends, have a fantastic Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week, and we're going to try building some momentum here at Coach Talk. Again, we'd love to see you and have you join the Coach Talk family. Have a great one. We'll see you back tomorrow when we look to crush it in MLB, DFS, PrizePicks, and Boom Fantasy.